It's not our country anymore, is it? You're like a stranger in your own country.
I'm
They're getting put up in hotels when we've still got people here in Britain living on the street. They're getting a clothing allowance. They're getting PlayStation 5s.
People are actually genuinely terrified and incredibly worried about the future of this country. They are very scared.
I'm scared for my kids and my grandkids. Do you think our grandparents knew what was going to happen on the beaches when they were giving their lives? No. No, they had faith in the king, they had faith in the system, and we have been let down massively.
Welcome back to Unfiltered Brits. Across the UK, more and more people are saying the same thing. This isn't the country I grew up in. The cracks are really getting harder and harder to ignore. This video brings together real voices from all over our country. People speaking bluntly about what they see happening and why they are fed up with being told to stay quiet. If you think it's time we stand up against this madness, like the video, hit the subscribe button and let me know where you stand in the comments. Now let's get into what the people of the UK are really saying.
I'm really shocked. There are no white British kids in 72 schools across England. So if that's not bad enough, in 454 schools, the figure is under 2%. And in this major survey for the first time, the racial makeup of our schools, it shows that in 1 in 4 schools in England, white British kids are in a minority. It's not racist to point this out, it's sensible to point it out, and it's why so many people feel uneasy and ill at ease about the huge negative impact sometimes through mass migration. We know that illegal migration is soaring. The numbers crossing the channel every day is soaring, and we know that legal migration is still at record high levels. It's got to stop. The impact on social cohesion, on our schools, on our hospitals, on people's way of life is enormous. It's why some people feel like strangers in their own communities and strangers in their own town.
People like you really need to wake up, because it's not just £30 a week they're getting put up in hotels when we've still got people here in Britain living on the street. They're getting a clothing allowance. They're getting PlayStation 5s. They're getting free driving lessons. They come over on boats and get free driving lessons. My son's 17. I'm paying for his driving lessons at the moment, and they're bloody expensive. I'd love to get them for free. My mum can't even get a benefit sorted out, so I'm just going to chuck them on a fucking dinghy, row them back into shores, just so my mum can get her benefits and my son gets some driving lessons. It's bloody ridiculous. Wake up.
Just take a look at this. A friend of mine works in a home for immigrant teenage boys. They get iPhones, free education, bikes, clothing allowance, food allowance, driving lessons, PlayStations, and in the past year, 3 of them have essayed young girls. I've heard of quite a few similar stories. This is deeply concerning. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Hello, buddy.
Yeah, hello.
How you doing? You alright? Hello, gentlemen. How are you? Are you all good? Yeah. Just make a little movie on wall, yeah?
Sorry, can you go outside, please?
Can you go outside, please? Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just having a little look around, yeah?
Can you come here, please? Can you come to drop
What is
outside?
this?
Sorry, what you going?
Just having a little look around, yeah?
What you look around?
Because I'm just seeing, yeah, what's going on. Hello, gentlemen. How are you all, yeah?
Hello, mister.
How you doing? Very good in here, yeah? Oh, there's all the NHS boards, look. How?
You're not allowed to record anything, brother, please.
I'm just having a look, yeah?
No,
Don't touch me, yeah?
Yeah, just go out.
Don't touch me, then.
Let them touch you.
Yeah, you can't touch, yeah?
I don't
touch,
trust you to
touch
go
you.
out, please.
Don't touch, yeah?
They touch you.
Did you know, being a citizen from any background in the UK and being concerned about the mass migration of people that are undocumented, well, the government has just labelled you the T-word. Government's anti-radicalisation programme says being worried about mass migration is not good ideology. There's a bit here that obviously I probably couldn't show you because TikTok doesn't like words, but I'll take a little snippet from the article. You should definitely go and have a look at more of the actual article. But yeah, it's like, what, 70% of people? 70% of the people in the UK are now this, apparently, according to this. Let's have a look. Oh, this is actually on the government website, by the way. And also, while they're calling you a thug, they've also said in it, oh yeah, we're also concerned about groups that don't mix with other groups. It's really strange. I still feel like that's trying to just talk about the working class in general. I don't think, because I mean, they've already called you that, so they're going to just call you a bit more. I don't think it's talking about the actual groups that we know don't do that. But critics have warned the definition of cultural nationalism is too broad and could even encompass the likes of Starmer. Lord Young, the General Secretary for Free Speech Union, said the definition in the training course is a training course, expands the scope of suspicion to include individuals whose views are entirely lawful but politically controversial. Why is it controversial if 70% of the public, the British public, think that way? But yeah. Oh, it's gonna get to a boiling point. I can see it right now. A boiling point will happen when you keep on accusing people of being things and then not actually going after the actual thing, the definition. We'll see.
Have a look at this. We aren't racist or terrorists. We have concerns because our country is on its knees with the health services and schools. Our culture and religious beliefs are being eroded and pushed back in case we offend people. We have illegal people coming to our countries, being put up in hotels, given money, all the help they need when our own native people are left. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Absolutely outrageous that the guidance and the training say that. It is deeply offensive and ridiculous and wrong to suggest that raising concerns about mass migration is somehow extremist. It is completely reasonable to have a debate about immigration levels and indeed to make the case, as I do, and I think as you do as well, that the numbers need to be a much dramatically lower than they have been.
Okay.
And it's equally reasonable to raise concerns about integration as well. That guidance should be immediately scrapped.
Immigration is out of control. Who's heard that before? People are actually generally terrified and incredibly worried about the future of this country. They are very scared. They're hearing words like swarm and invasion, but let's talk facts. Here are 5 facts to share next time somebody brings this up at work, dinner, friends, family. 1. We have got an ageing population and a falling birth rate. 13 million people in Britain are over 65. That's 1 in 5 people of the population. 25% are elderly people. Go into any hospital, any care home, who is doing the caring? Do you have time, full time, to look after your parents or grandparents, or are you overworked like the rest of us? 2. Kids are super expensive. People aren't having as many kids because it's so unaffordable. Kids can literally cause a financial crisis in a household. 3. 90% of countries around the world have English as an official language, thanks to the British Empire. So if you were leaving your country, would you go to Germany, or would you come to the country whose language you are forced to learn at school? 4. Immigrants are literally holding up this country. 40% of NHS doctors are immigrants. 1 in 5 NHS staff are immigrants. We would not be able to function without immigrants in this country. People would literally be dying in their homes waiting for care. 5, immigration is not out of control, but something else is. We have out of control food and fuel prices, out of control housing costs, out of control NHS wait times, all skyrocketing, not because of immigrants, but because of unchecked corporate greed and millionaires dodging taxes while the rest of us are drowning. So don't blame the immigrants, blame the systems designed to keep us divided while they cash in at the top. We're not struggling because of immigration, we are struggling because of exploitation, and because the super rich are legally allowed to dodge lots and lots of taxes.
Let me know what you think in the comments. I read a lot of comments, and it's interesting to see people's difference in opinions.
Immigration is the direct cause of the increase in violent and sexual assaults in Bournemouth. Pretty bold statement to make, right? That's what someone said to me the other day, and I didn't have the facts and figures then to believe him or not, and he didn't. So I thought I'm going to go and have a look at this. So what I've done today is I've gone on ChatGPT, gone on Dorset Police, gone on the .gov websites, and I've sort of dragged all the facts and figures that I could find. I've saved a few of them, and I'll put them up on screen. And I thought I'd share my hypothesis with you that illegal immigrants being housed in Bournemouth are one of the main reasons that our children, our loved ones, and tourists to this town can't go out and enjoy themselves for fear of being attacked, raped, mugged, assaulted, robbed, whatever. So let's have a look at that. And before I start, if you're going to start commenting on this post to say I'm some sort of far-right, racist, illiterate thug, need to get an education, all of the things that people like to come on when they can't win an argument, please just go on to someone else's posts and comment there, because I'm not interested. I'll just block you. But if you've got a reasoned argument, please put it back to me. I'm not against hearing the other side. So 32% of crime, which is the largest portion of crime in Bournemouth, is created by violent crime and sexual assault, which is a pretty staggering amount. And when you look at that, I asked the question about where all of the crime in Dorset's happening, and I've got a heat map here. And what you'll see on this heat map is basically, you know, the dark red areas is where the majority of the crime's being carried out. And it might be no surprise to see that is basically Bournemouth town centre, which sort of corresponds with all the reports we're seeing in the press about Bournemouth now having a crime rate at 116% of the national average, a staggeringly high figure for what was once a very safe town. And then we sort of look at that heat map and look at where all this crime is happening, and we sort of see, well, where are the hotels, the asylum hotels, where these guys are staying and where they're generally hanging about in that local area? And they sit and they nestle quite nicely within those heat map areas. But that in itself isn't a conclusion to say just because the crime's there, that it's all the immigrants. It could just be that they're living in a high crime rate area. So then I thought, well, I'll ask the question to Dorset Police about, and see if there's any statistics and actual facts and figures online about the number of people that are arrested and charged, or there's allegations. What is their country of birth and their country of origin, effectively? Because, you know, that'd be a nice easy answer, because if most of the crime's being committed by people that weren't born in the UK or they're here as illegal immigrants, you know, you can look at their status, it would answer the question. But no, they don't record that information, which is very strange.
Did you know the government receives £1.1 trillion a year in tax?
If I asked you now whether you believe that Britain will be better for your children, I know too many of you would say no.
It will take £17 billion to educate every single young person in the UK.
Your government should treat every single person in this country with respect.
And it will take £1 billion to eradicate homelessness in the UK.
My government will serve you. Politics can be a force for good. We will show that. We've changed the Labour Party, returned it to service, and that is how we will govern. Country first, party second.
The funds spent on the war to date, just in the Ukraine alone, is £13 billion. That would leave us with £1.6 trillion.
Have no doubt that we will rebuild Britain with wealth created in every community.
What are they doing with the rest of our money? More legal robberies.
Change begins immediately.
Flip the system.
This person commented, "The UK government are the enemy of the UK people. They do everything they can to make the UK people suffer." Yep, could not have said it better myself. Comment down below what you think.
There are no safe routes. There are no legal routes for people to apply for.
But I mean a legal method. I don't mean like a route. I mean...
Think about it. If you're in Syria...
But they're in France.
No. These people have come from places like Syria, Yemen.
And then they arrive in Europe, and then from Europe they move on to the UK.
They don't move on from Europe. They're coming from wherever it is, the war-torn country. It's when they get to France that they're trying to cross a bit.
But why don't they stay in France is what I'm asking.
And I've just explained to you that many of them have connections here in Britain. And in some ways, isn't it great that they think in Britain we're more welcoming? That actually we respect human rights, because that's fundamentally why they think.
Don't you think it's about more benefits, like richer benefits?
The benefits are twice as high in France. Sorry to interrupt
Can I just explain something? This idea of benefits, there are people, working class people in Britain, that can't live off the benefits that they are given.
Yeah, so they're wondering why migrants get the money.
They don't get the money. The people that run the hotels where they are being housed are getting the money.
But Brits don't get free housing in hotels, right?
These hotels are not five-star hotels. These are hotels that are being emptied because they're not fit for business, who are then being housed. And the people that have...
How come Brit homeless can't go there?
Well, that's a question we should ask the government, shouldn't we? Because when COVID happened, every homeless person was taken in somewhere and housed. So that's a separate question. It's not a case of, before we had migrants, we had no homelessness in Britain. We've always had homelessness.
But hasn't migration driven up the cost of housing, supply and demand?
No. And that, you can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. You can't say that they're getting free hotel accommodation and then they've increased the price of housing.
Oh, well, it's free to them, but it's the taxpayers paying for it.
They are not in housing. The reason we have a housing crisis is because actually the government many years ago decided to not invest in building new houses. The social housing they had, they sold off for profit. That's why we have a housing crisis.
Look what's going on in our beautiful country. Our beautiful, beautiful country, guys. And we're allowing this to happen. What's wrong with you all?
What do you think?
You don't know what's going to happen in 10 years' time if this carries on. I know what's going to happen, boss, and trust me, I'm scared for my kids and my grandkids. Do you think our grandparents knew what was going to happen on the beaches when they were giving their lives? No. No, they had faith in the king, they had faith in the system, and we have been let down massively. I feel like I'm the only one passionate about my beautiful country. What is wrong with you all, man?
Well said.
I don't understand it, like. I don't understand it. There's not one British flag flying here. We all speak English, we're all British. What are you doing? What are you all doing?
Well said.
Yeah. I can't, because I'm honest, none of you are saying a word. You all got your mouth shut. You're flying to make Britain flag again. You've not said a word. I've been here for 10 minutes.
Yeah, mate.
What is wrong with you lot?
It starts at 1.
No, it starts the minute they fucking started. That's when it started, guys.
I know, but
what's wrong with you? What's wrong with all of you? You're here, but so why am I doing the one vocal, bud? Why am I doing the one being vocal?
I can't answer that.
You got a pair of nuts, you got a pair of nuts. Grab your fucking nuts and tell them what's wrong.
I did when I served my country, mate. That's what I did.
Good man.
Right? So I've done that.
Man. Good man. What's wrong with you lot?
We're here, and that's what I know you're angry. I'm angry.
I'm not angry, bud. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken because what is going on here? They're looking at us like we're the issue. I can't. I've got to take my kids somewhere. Like, I drove past and I see not one person standing up for our beautiful country. Like, it's ridiculous. They should be flying high above that fucking memorial. That's what they should be. Not them fucking flags.
Okay, so this person commented this. Why is he angry about people showing solidarity with the innocent Palestinians who have their land stolen? He's a paid actor. And someone replied, far from paid actor, a passionate Englishman. I really cannot wrap my head around people who are not concerned about preserving the culture of Britain. Let me know what you think about this one.
I'm filming you, so I'm going to call you to the police for the city. Get off the bus.
Don't do that.
Get off the bus. Get off the bus. Get off the bus. Get off the bus.
Goodbye.
It's not our country anymore, is it? You're like a stranger in your own country. Which I don't like. I'm not racist, but I just don't like what's happening. And all his money is going for this. To look after them. And that's why they're building all the new houses, isn't it? It's not for our children. It's for all the boat people.
There is not a single white British child in 72 schools across England. In 454 schools, white British children make up less than 2% of the student body. White British children are also now a minority in 1 in 4 schools. That is data from the Department of Education reported by The Telegraph today. Tell me this, how does any country expect assimilation, let alone a shared culture, when thousands of children grow up in classrooms where white British identity is the exception, not the norm? Will there be a White History Month to help with these minority children to feel included? Will there be DEI initiatives to give them a leg up? Of course not.
I'm filming a video directly off the back of that last one because inevitably it's going to get a pile on from people calling me a racist for talking about it and actual racists who want to weaponise it. Let's start with British culture or white British culture, because yes, it's a thing. It's not racist to say there is such thing as white British culture. It's been the culture that's been developed by white Anglo-Saxon people mostly, going all the way back hundreds of years, centuries, over 1,000 years ago, and has now formed the British identity we have today. And the reality is over 80% of the people in this country, the vast majority of people in this country, are white and British. Therefore, we have a culture. And what's happened is, with mass immigration, we are losing some of the fabric of that culture. And when we highlight things like 72 schools where there are 0 British kids in them, what do you think the implications are for the kids who are growing up in those areas and going to those schools, not being brought up or around the prevailing culture or the prevailing race of people in that society? They're going to be alienated. What happens when they go to the workforce? They're going to feel completely alien to the vast majority of their co-workers. That's not multiculturalism. That's a new culture forming in place of one that no longer exists. And should we accept that in Britain? No, I don't believe that's right for any country. And it's, again, not racist to say that. Now let's talk about skin colour, because this has got nothing to do with your skin colour. This is about the content of your character and your love for the British culture. Because if you move here, you should be moving here because you love our way of life and you want to integrate in it, not because you want to bring the culture of your country and put it on top of the one that already exists. And that's what's happening in these ghettoized communities, is there's no British culture left, so it's being filled with by the vacuum. And therefore those people over decades are going, why do we need to abide by this culture? Because actually it doesn't even exist here anymore. That is the issue we're trying to highlight. It's got nothing to do with skin colour, and it's got everything to do with culture.
This person commented, "The crazy part is that there are still people believing there is no migration problem. What do you think about this?"
Many Muslims suffer Islamophobia, verbal abuse, physical attacks, mosques facing criminal damage and so forth.
Just threw all hot water in my face.
And so you can say, I'm really proud to be a British Muslim, but there are problems, and we're going to challenge them.
What do you think of Hamza Yusuf's election?
I'm incredibly proud. I'm so proud that we have, not just a Prime Minister of Asian heritage, it's really important, but we have a First Minister of Scotland who's not just of Asian heritage, but of Muslim faith. What's wonderful as well, it shows that we Muslims aren't one homogenous blob. We've got diversity within the religion of Islam, and indeed within the Asian ethnic origin as well. You can be Labour, you can be Tory, you can be SNP. The key thing though is, what it means to boys and girls growing up in our country is they see people holding the highest office. So I'm hoping people in Scotland, boys and girls of Islamic faith, of ethnic minority backgrounds, think, you know what, if the First Minister can look like him, so can I. And
in modern Britain, where waving foreign flags in the capital gets more respect than speaking your mind on a social media post, watch what happens when someone actually pushes back.
You don't come in England and raise a Palestinian flag that you can't raise in your own country. Don't do that. That's disrespect. I guarantee no Muslim here go to Dubai and raise a Palestinian flag there. Even in Qatar, you can't do that. You can't do that, my friend. So why do it in Europe? Because of human rights? Because you're allowed to? Those things have to stop. You don't invade anybody's country to take over. Their country is not yours. The democracy is built by the people, of the people, and voted for those people. So you come and you integrate to build a society while you build yourself. That's what the integration is for. But you can't go.
Read them what it says on my placard. My doctor, my dentist, my optician, the hospital staff who fixed my leg and delivered my babies, the care home workers who will look after me when I'm old, most of my local shopkeepers, what do they have in common? They are migrants. And London and this country would collapse without them.
Right, you people need to fucking open your eyes. Go and check out a creator called Another Man's Shoes. You can watch his video on what happened to his daughter, then you can watch his video on what I'm about to tell you. A group of girls go out in Bournemouth for a night out, right? They're in a bar drinking. One of them disappears off to the cash point to get some money. She never comes back, right? The friends get a little bit worried. They try and call her, no answer. So they call her parents. Has she come home? No, thought she was still with you. Her parents track her phone and they find, strangely, that it's tracking to a car park in Bournemouth. So they go to this car park in Bournemouth, they shoot down there, right? And there's a van there. There's some odd movement going on inside the van. So the dad flings the doors open, and do you know what he finds, the poor fucker? His daughter in that van with 5 foreign men bidding on her to see who's going to rape her. Now these 5 foreign men scattered, disappeared when he did that. Police were called, apparently can't find them. No idea where they were, despite CCTV at the cash point, diddly do, no action taken whatsoever. So you explain to me why people wouldn't get irate about that sort of thing in this country.
Say, this nation is a Christian nation, and we bow to one King, and He is the King of Kings, and He is the Lord of Lords. Yeshua be lifted high. Jesus be lifted high. Come on, just praise Him. Just praise Him. Just praise Him. Come on, from the heart of London, let your praise go up to heaven, to the throne room of God. Just praise Him.
And there you have it. A growing number of Brits are voicing the same concern, that mass immigration is reshaping the country in ways no one voted for. This isn't about hate or xenophobia, it's about honesty and it's about love for our British culture. Ignoring it won't make it go away. But don't worry, the government's probably thinking about maybe forming a committee to discuss possibly doing something someday. Drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you're tired of being ignored. See you in the next one.